Good morning, guys. Today on Customer States What? The RS7 with 90-something thousand miles on it. We're doing a left front wheel bearing. We're gonna need a big ass Allen for over here. We're gonna need a 21mm here, and we're gonna need a triple square for over there that actually holds in the wheel bearing. We're also gonna need the air hammer with a number of chisels, and we're also gonna need the shop press. So let's get into it. And as you could hear, we got our favorite podcast on Saturday. We always have it on. Let me know in the comments, who are we listening to? Till then, let's get into the repair. So here we have the rotor off. The caliper is disconnected off the bracket here. We just used the 21 to take out the two 21s. Compress the pistons just a hair so we can get the caliper off and it'll ease in installation. We also unplugged the pad warning sensor. Now with these rotors, to get them off, besides the T30 that holds them in, if it doesn't come off the hub right away, do not, I repeat, do not strike the surface of the rotor if you're reusing the rotors. You can cause, or you will cause, a brake pulsation. If you have to tap the rotor, tap it on the hub area right here, spray a little PB blast in the holes, giggity, you know. You need lube every now and then, so it helps. Then you could take the rotor off with no problem.
Is it cross-dressing in India to put the dot on?
Very good. So guys, stupid me, I didn't break the axle bolt free while the rim was on the ground. Usually I'll pull the center cap and I'll break it free with a breaker bar. I just sat here for like a good 5 minutes with my impact and a, let's see, a 19mm Allen, just blasting this, going forward, backward, and then it freed up. So the point of this little clip here is break this free on the ground when you got the wheel on. Don't struggle. Freaking Goomba move. So now that we have the axle bolt all loose, we can maneuver the axle and we can remove the wheel bearing. So now we're going to go after these triple squares. There's 4 of them. So let's go. We got a 12mm triple square, and you're going to need a ratchet. Let's see. I'll go with this guy right now, because we're in a small space. May need the longer one, giggity. So I know for a fact this one here is a biatch to get to because of the ball joint bolt right here. So what you have to do is you got to put a little baby extension on your socket, or wobble plus extension. And what that'll do is it'll give you just the right length and just the right arc, giggity, to get the job done for that one bolt. So here you can see how I got it in, giggity, and why you need that little bit of extra length, double giggity. Now be very careful with these triple squares. They are shallow and you do not want to strip them. If you strip them, it's a bad day. Okay guys, next tip I'm going to tell you, when doing an Audi wheel bearing, the bolts here, you're only going to back out halfway. As you can see, the threads are now even, and the reason for this is we're going to be using those original bolts to push this wheel bearing out with a air hammer and chisel. We are replacing those bolts, so let me show you exactly what we're going to do. We're going to take my air hammer with this long chisel poker, giggity, and we're going to get up in there. We're going to start off with this bolt here and then work our way around, and it's going to push out that wheel bearing.
It's gonna get a little loud now, guys. Got to get up in there. Now, sorry guys, it's gonna get loud and you want to turn down the volume. You get that one there. You get the next one here. Get the top one. Now what that does, or what that did, you see how it broke free? We got that gap there. Now we back out the bolts a little further and keep doing the same thing until the hub and bearing are completely out in one assembly. So let's get to the other ones. Here we have the old one out. We still got to press out the hub on the shop press. Here we have the brand new one, new hardware. Now the hub and bearing is out. What I usually like to do is I usually like to put the bolt back in here so no axle starts to leak out. I will also clean this surface here. You don't really need to, it's just I like to. And then press this out of here, take the collar off and press it into the new one. Install and torque to spec. So here we have the hub and bearing set up in the shop press. We have it centered. We're gonna use the special tool here. We got a little shimmeroony right there, and we're gonna use a socket here just to take up the rest of the gap right there. So just make sure that it's centered, and we're gonna press that out. And we have a net on the bottom of the press to catch the hub so it doesn't hit my feet. We'll see how this net is working today. Maybe I'll just hold it open a little bit. Giggity. It caught it. Very nice. Here's the socket. Here's the Gugot's bearing that we're not going to reuse. And here's the hub that we have to reuse. Now we have to get this bearing race off, and I'll show you a little trick to get that off. It's not the usual way you would think. So there's a little part of the bearing right here you want to just bend to get out the way, because you want to get in between the race and the hub. So all we're going to do is we're just going to get this out of here so we can make room. So now that we got that ring off, the seasoned guys here over at Audi, they showed me this trick where you just use a sharp air chisel right here and you could walk the race out. Now usually I'd cut a slit in here, then freaking chisel the slit to crack it, and then I'll back it off. But believe it or not, it actually works. So you just get it in here and like there, a little there, a little there, and you walk it out. So let's see if I could walk it out, walk it out, walk it out, walk it out. Alright guys, once again, sorry, it's gonna get a little loud. So let's see if this is gonna work. Working. And that's how we get it out without cutting the ring or anything, and the hub's all reusable. Very good. Now guys, just to let you know, whenever I use this, I have my eye protection and I have my ear protection on. Now we're ready for installation of the hub into the bearing. Clean the surface because that's where the magnetic strip is going to sit. Set that up. Get the hub. Wipe down the surface there. Put that there. Take the plate off the press. Put it right there. Get your little spacer. Right there. Make sure everything is lined up and centered. And send it home. Now it's going to bottom out when it's reached its end point. Boom, bottomed out. So here we have the wheel bearing and hub all installed and torqued down to specifications. We just gave this a 1 ugga-dugga because when we get it on the ground, we'll torque that to specifications. It's 200 Newton meters, and then an additional ball breaking 180 degrees of rotation. So everything went well. Let's put the rest of it back together. Okay. All right, now for the 180. Solar paint marker. All right, hope nothing drops out of my leg. We'll see. Here we go. It's 45. Oh shit. Damn. That hit. Oh god, I gotta go a little more. Holy shit. Alright. Just a little more. Just a little more. Where are we at? Alright, there's my mark. We're good. Oh man, that kind of hurt though. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh god, they fell out. Thank you guys. Please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification for further content.